Have you ever looked at a chart and thought, price is following this trend line, then entered the trade, but a few minutes later, the market turned around and cut your losses painfully? Trendline. Sounds simple, right? Just connect a few peaks and a few troughs and you're done. But in reality, there are thousands of people drawing trend lines every day, and thousands of people burning their accounts because of it. So what is the correct way to draw a trend line? Does it really work? And most importantly, how to avoid being fooled by the market with the line you draw? Hi, I'm Sven. In today's video, we'll decode trend lines together, from basic concepts to practical applications, and even deadly mistakes that every trader has made. If you are ready to draw trend lines like a pro, let's get started. First, we have to understand what is a trend line. Trend line, also known as trend line, is a straight line connecting important peaks or troughs, used to determine the main direction of market movement. For example, here is an uptrend line. It connects higher peaks. This shows us that the market is in a clear uptrend. Every time the price goes down, it makes a higher low. Conversely, this is a downtrend line, connecting lower peaks. When prices make new peaks that are lower than previous peaks, the trend is down, and the trend line helps us to recognize this. Trend lines act as a mirror that reflects market sentiment. Uptrends show confidence, downtrends show fear. Trend lines are not a tool to predict the future. They help you understand the past to make better decisions in the present. Okay, so you know what a trend line is, but how do you draw a trend line properly? Can you just connect them randomly? The answer is nitrogen monoxide. Next, I will show you how to draw trend lines correctly, without falling into the trap of market illusion. Now comes the most important part, how to draw trend lines properly. A trend line is only meaningful when you connect at least two clear peaks or troughs, but a trend line is really strong when it has 3 or more touch points. Many people just connect one peak and one trough and call it a trend line. That is the first mistake that will make you get caught by the market. The trend line does not need to connect the candle wicks 100% correctly. The important thing is to catch the price reaction zone correctly. The candle body usually reflects stronger market force. Trend lines on large time frames like H4, D1 are often more reliable than trend lines on M15 or M5. Why? Because it reflects the emotions of more investors. A fatal mistake. Many people draw trend lines based on emotions, like, I want to buy so I will try to draw a trend line that shows an uptrend, but the market doesn't care about your emotions. Good traders don't draw trend lines to execute orders. They let trend lines guide them. So you know how to draw trend lines correctly. But drawing correctly is not enough, because there are very common mistakes that still cause traders to lose money even though the trend line is as beautiful as a textbook. Next, for common mistakes when using trend lines that will burn your account. Mistake 1. Drawing trend lines based on emotions. Many traders, especially new ones, have the habit of drawing trend lines based on emotions. If you think the market will go up, draw a trend line that shows an increase. If you see a sharp drop in price, try to connect a few peaks for the sake of it. The result, you draw a trend line just to convince yourself, but the market doesn't care. Mistake 2. Trying to force the trend line to coincide with the entry. Have you ever seen someone draw a trend line and say, price has hit the trend line, let's enter, without checking to see if the point makes sense? The trend line is not the reason to enter a trade. It is just part of the bigger picture. If you use the trend line to legitimize the trade, you are using it for the wrong purpose. Mistake 3. Not updating trend lines according to the market. Trend lines are not permanent. Markets change, trend lines change too. Many people draw trend lines and leave them there for weeks. Even though prices break, retest and move against them. That's the fastest way to get left behind. Mistake 4. Using only trend line without combining other factors. Trend line is just a technical tool. If you only look at it and ignore supply and demand zones, resistance and support, market structure, then you are lacking weapons when going into battle. Successful traders do not rely on one tool. They combine them to increase the probability of winning. Okay, now you know the common mistakes. But how do you use trend lines correctly in real-world situations? In the next part, I will share how to combine trend lines with powerful factors, such as supply and demand, Fibonacci, and price structure. so you can place orders with more basis, no more guessing. Did you see yourself making any of the mistakes in today's video? Let's be honest, I also drew trend lines wrong in the first few months and blew my account because I trusted too much in a line. Have you ever lost money when the price broke a trend line? Or drawn a trend line that looked really good, but the market didn't care? Comment below to see what mistakes you made. I will read them all and respond to each one. In the next video, I'll share how to spot a fake breakout when the price breaks a trend line but doesn't go in the direction you think it should. Trust me, it's the reason why many traders think trend lines don't work. If you want it to come out soon, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications. YouTube won't send you new videos if you don't.